Are our flight reviews cursed? Well, what do you think? Yep, you're gonna have to stick around to the end of the episode and we'll share that with you. But first, we've had some news in the full-scale world about the Reno Air Races getting kicked out of Reno. So we actually went to the Reno Air Races a few years ago, right?
Yeah, I don't really remember it, besides we went and got to go in airplanes and stuff.
Yeah, that mean and wait in long lines, right?
Yeah.
But yes, we went to the Reno Air Races. In fact, let's share some footage with you guys from our trip there a few years ago.
Kirby Dark Shadow. Already back with us, rounding pylon 9 is Charlie Camilleri from Bathurst, Australia.
Charlie's got a really nice, consistent line. He's got clean air out there. That's helped him out a lot. And he's got about an equal spacing with Scott Bismarck from Race 84.
John Levine's there from Scott, so the turbulence is that
And then in this nice race, we're still looks like this. We do want to be out of
So yeah, that was that was a blast. Had a good time. My favorite thing, oddly enough, was actually the stole competition. I thought that was really exciting.
What's that?
The stole competition? Good thing you asked. That's where they had like souped up Piper Cubs and like different kinds of stole planes, and they would take off, and then they would have to fly a certain amount, land, turn around, and then fly back to the starting line. And it was like a drag race in between the two airplanes.
Cool. Kind of like what we do on Harry and Sally.
Yep.
Just with horses going running.
Yep, kind of like what y'all do with the horses. But anyway, so yeah, that's a big shocker. I mean, I guess it really wasn't that shock because when we were out there was a lot of neighborhoods, and I was wondering how they got away with it. So best of luck to you guys over at the Reno Air Races. Hopefully y'all find a new location, and we're looking forward to hearing the updates and everything. So also this week we tried out our new runway. What'd you think of that?
The plane got stuck in a tree.
Yeah, that's right. If y'all haven't seen that episode that we released just last Wednesday, in fact, you think we should share them, me getting stuck in the tree? Yeah, check it out.
But out here, it's even worse because it can crash into a tree.
Ooh! So, what do you think of that, huh? It's still funny to watch, isn't it? Yeah, I can't get enough of that. I mean, I can't believe we did that. I mean, that was so silly.
And then he had to throw a rock at the plane because he didn't get that footage, but he threw a rock at the plane, and he had to throw rocks at the plane for it to go down.
Well, it was your fault. You wouldn't climb up in the tree.
That tree's taller than me.
Oh, honey, a lot of little small trees are taller than you, too. But anyway, also this week, the girls were super busy building their airplanes. If you notice that Chicken Girl isn't here, she's kind of being grumpy because she stayed up too late last night. So she didn't want to be part of this, but let's show her project first. Actually, before we show the project, how about we run the footage and, what do you say, get caught up with y'all's progress throughout the week? Yeah.
The week began with Beluga Girl removing the tape from the balsa wood sheeting that she glued together the day before.
All right, while we leave Beluga Girl over here finishing off that line for the balsa sheeting, we're gonna come show y'all what Chicken Girl has done. So Chicken Girl, you wanna tell us what you've done so far?
So I've chased these and cut out one of them.
All right, and what are we gonna do with all of them?
I'm gonna go here like that, and here like that, and here like that, all the way down.
So just to let y'all know, we started moving forward with this because the center wing section, I think we torqued it enough yesterday and got it straight. So Chicken Girl is gonna finish this up, and then she's gonna sand all the edges smooth, and then maybe if the notches are clean and everything, maybe we can get them all put up today.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. So this is how they'd go.
All right, that looks pretty good, Chicken Girl. Keep up the good work.
Because all of the ribs except for one were missing from the center wing section leading edge, Chicken Girl had to manufacture 4 more additional ribs and then sand them all to match each other exactly. This task for her required a lot of patience, seeing that she never worked with balsa wood before, but she prevailed. After 3 broken ribs, she finally got all 4 manufactured and ready to go. Now a little sanding to make them identical. Because this center section was already built up, there was a lot of glue and residue on either side of the engine mount where the leading edge is going to be mounted. We took our measurements of the wing leading edge, and then we brought it over to the bandsaw to cut it to the right size. As we attached the leading edge to the center wing section, look at Chicken Girl's fingers. She wrapped them in tape because I always told her to be careful with CA and not glue her fingers together. Beluga Girl is removing the tape from 2 more panels that are going to be used for wing sheeting. Then we'll lay out, we'll tape, and then glue together our final set of balsa sheeting for our wings. Now it's time to retool our workstation for the next step. She will be creating a template so all of our sheeting is cut down to a more manageable size. I guess the tape proved to be too cumbersome, and Chicken Girl switched to gloves. That way she won't glue her fingers together. Watch as she puts the rest of the ribs on the leading edge of the center wing section. I was very impressed with Chicken Girl's precision on getting everything lined up. Now that all the templates are drawn, Beluga Girl started to cut out the wing panels. She worked at this for a long time, and I was very impressed at the fact that she hung in there and finished the job in one day. Now we are doing a dry fit with the balsa sheeting on the wing panels in the mold. And look, it all fit. Alright, now it's time to laminate the balsa sheeting to our foam cores. After you pour on the Gorilla Glue to the foam core, you have to brush it out. As you can see, it took us a long time because that stuff is really thick and hard to spread. And lastly, you weight down the molds and make tons of minor adjustments. Chicken Girl is now cutting out the foam board sheeting for the bottom part of the center wing section. After it was cut out, she removed the paper from part of the foam board, which made it more flexible and allowed us to bend it into shape in the jig and glue it together on a flat surface.
All right, so I mean, man, y'all really worked hard this week. Y'all got a lot done, huh? But like I said, Chicken Girl isn't here, so let's show her progress to start. So if y'all remember before, none of these ribs were here. This was warped, so we were able to straighten out the wing center section. She fabricated all of these ribs and then put them in place. Got the leading edge here, and then we also sheeted the bottom of the wing. So big progress. So all you plane savers guys out there that are watching it, the DC-3 is well underway, and I think the next step is just to go ahead and trim this back part off here, even with the bottom. And we're going to start on the actual outboard wings. That's going to be coming next, hopefully next week, if it's not too busy for me on the flight schedule. Now, I just hit you, didn't I? So now, what did you do this week?
Okay, I did this.
Yep, she did that. So what she did there was she laminated the foam core with what?
Balsa.
Yep, balsa wood, that's right. So, and as y'all saw in the videos, I mean, I helped her just a little bit, but I mean, this was all this girl right here.
Now we have a wing.
Yep, now we have one wing. The other one will be done hopefully tomorrow, and we'll be moving on to finishing those wings out, right? Mm-hmm. So, Luca Girl, what was the hardest part of doing the wings?
It was pretty easy.
Whoa, look at that. She said it was pretty easy.
Gluing these together was not easy.
Yeah, that glue was kind of hard to work with, huh?
And then you had to go back with a paintbrush and paint it.
Oh, that was your favorite part, right? In fact, look, check this out, guys. Let's show them what the Gorilla Glue did to the paintbrush. Look at this, guys. I mean, that's pretty funny right there. Oh yeah, no, that's totally like stuck in there. Yep. So yeah, We're gonna need a new paintbrush for sure, right?
Can't use this paintbrush anymore.
Yep. So you did a lot of new things. You used CA to glue the sheets together. You used a Gorilla Glue to laminate. You cut balsa for the first time. So what was your favorite part of what we did this last week?
I think cutting the balsa.
Really? You liked, because I know that was a little frustrating for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was particularly cutting over those glue joints, huh?
Yeah, but I'm not a very good cutter, as you see.
Well, guys, and we all know whenever we're building airplanes, that kind of cut is not that big of a deal because we can always sand it to the final shape as long as you have stuff overhanging. And that's what I've been telling you all week, that's okay. You know, don't feel bad about that. So next coming up, once we finish off those wings and get the fairings, then we're gonna start working on the tail section. So are you looking more forward to finishing off these wings, or are you looking forward to getting into the fuselage to start?
Fuselage.
You're done with the wings, huh? Yeah, so that will be the next step after we get the balsa pieces glued onto the wing tips and get the control surfaces cut out and all that stuff. The next thing we're going to move on to is the tail section and getting that built up. Now, the tail section isn't going to be a foam core build. It's actually going to be a conventional stick and balsa build. So you're actually going to get both techniques in one model, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited about getting to that. All right, now enough talking about this stuff. I know all of you guys saw our picture on our thumb and wondering, when is this guy ever gonna get to what happened with the PC-6, right?
The Pilatus.
Yes, the Pilatus. So why are our flight views cursed? I have no idea. I mean, y'all remember with the Fox, we hit the power line on our flight review?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like these things are, oh, and then the T-33, remember it crashed during our flight review too when we were doing our grass demonstrations. So it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on. So should we share them the footage first and then talk about it? All right, so check it out. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so to start off today, we're gonna be doing a clean takeoff. You know what clean takeoff means, Beluga Girl?
No.
So a clean takeoff is flaps up, okay? Clean wing, in other words, okay? Are you ready? All right, here we go. Here's a clean takeoff. I'm not sure if we would need any flaps after that, huh? All right, so let's do a little bit of a low pass here, because we just love this airplane. She is solid today. All right, so I'm gonna come around now and let's do a clean landing. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna slow it down some. Try not to hit that pole. Power is off. Nope. It's too fast for that one. Woo! Did you hear that motor?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice sounding. All right, let's get it slower this time. That was way too fast. Now, obviously, we're not bleeding off the airspeed like we could be because we have no flaps. All right, I'm idle power. Ooh, well, that wasn't good. Well, shoot. That might be the end of our morning today. Let's check it out. That was my fault. I should have gone around for sure. Let's look at the carnage here.
A piece to it. But that propeller's strong.
Yeah, well, the propeller didn't hit. I turned it just in time. Yeah, so we need to collect all these pieces, but let's analyze this. This is kind of interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and put the kill switch on here. Let's look at this because, yeah, it hit a post pretty darn hard here. Here's the interior of it all. I mean, this is not gonna be a bad fix, but it gives us a good chance to look at the superstructure underneath. Yeah, look, it's split all the way over here. I don't actually think that this is gonna be a bad fix at all.
Not to be discouraged by the crash, I immediately got the wings off the airplane and started working on it.
I'm gonna be working on the repairs on the PC-6. So last night I glued together all the different fragments that looked like they were still good, in good shape, and got them kind of repaired up to a rib. And then we're gonna take one of those broken wings that the horse stomped on, and we're gonna cut a leading edge section out of it, and then we're gonna glue it where the part was actually fractured. So this was a pretty cool design on this airplane. I always thought it was a little chinchy, but actually, it being that way almost made a crumple zone. So actually the wing spar stayed intact all the way through, and it just messed up the leading edge. So it's a little bit of repair work, but not a big deal. But going through the airplane and looking at other stuff, we actually noticed that it knocked out one of the servo mounts on the opposite wing. I thought that was kind of strange. So we're gonna be also, that's why we have both wings sitting over there, and you saw me taking both wings off earlier. So we're gonna get that repaired up.
As you can see, I already cut out the leading edge section on the damaged wing, and I already got my donor piece from the wings that were crushed by the horse. Now, I'm just gluing it into place with some Gorilla Glue. After lots of cutting, puttying, and sanding, it was time to put on our iron-on sheeting. This is probably the biggest piece of iron-on sheeting I've done, well, since the early 2000s. Let's just say that my ironing skills were much deteriorated over the years, and, well, the finish was something left to be desired. But we're going to be repainting this thing anyway, so it's all good.
All right, guys, here we are. I know she doesn't look great, but she's fixed. I think she's sound. So what we're gonna do right now, as you can see my crappy repair job as we come around, what we're gonna do right now is we're going to take her up and trim her. Once I get her trimmed and everything feels pretty good, I'm gonna finish off that flight review that we started last week. So wish us luck, here we go.
Filming.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looks like we have just a little bit of trim to do. Not too bad.
But it sounds normal.
What is she doing? All right, guys, so there was my trim. Gonna do a nice little low pass. All right, we're gonna test the flaps now.
I think she's shouting out the shouting at the cows saying go, go, go.
All right, I feel like the flaps feel normal. All right. Look at that flap pass.
I almost fell over trying to get that.
All right, so now we're gonna do a full flap, and then we're gonna start our landing stuff.
Yeah, because this is a really short runway. This plane's big for this, how much runway we have.
All right, so there's zero flap. You know, y'all saw what it did landing with no flap, right? I think we could say, fair enough, That's all we need to do, right, Luga girl?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do a takeoff flap landing first, coming back this way, okay? We've decided to go uphill on the landing just because of for obvious reasons. So here comes flaps approach. The airplane's gonna climb out a little bit, just like expected. All right, so here we go. Coming around.
Don't land in the log.
You know what, guys? I don't want to do multiple landings. No, I'm joking. Okay, here we go. That was just a little too fast for my comfort. Need to get her down a little bit earlier. That's okay. Get some nice views of the airplane, right, guys? Oh, and my wheel fell off. Well, there's always when that happens.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not sure if,
It wanted to sniff the ground.
yeah, that was a pretty good landing too.
In the nose.
Oh, I think it was just hopefully it's just the cowl. Yeah, it's just the cowl. Yeah, everything else inside looks
and the
good.
wheel fell off.
Yeah, the wheel fell off, guys.
Does the wheel have a spring?
All right, guys, man, I tell you what, we had it rough. I mean, 2 wrecks in 1 flight review. I think that's a new record for us, huh? So, what did you think, before we get into the crashes, what did you think, since you were filming, by the way, give her some love, her filming is awesome. So, you know, you were watching it firsthand. So about the flying characteristics, what is your favorite thing about watching or filming the PC-6 and watching it fly?
I just like filming.
You just like filming, yeah. The PC-6, I mean, I felt like it was a solid airplane. It's flying so good, but it just kind of bothers me, man, that we just couldn't get that flight review in there. Now, as far as the 2 crashes that we had, that's really embarrassing. Which one do you think was the most gnarly of the 2?
Of what?
Of the crashes?
I think the last damage was which one do you think was the last damage?
I think the least amount of damage was actually when the wheel popped off. We ended up only breaking a prop and losing a wheel collar, and that was it. In fact, it's sitting over there in one piece. We're still waiting on the prop to come in the mail so we can actually finish this flight review, right?
It might be in the mailbox.
No, it's not in the mailbox yet. I just checked on it. It just shipped yesterday. And also, speaking of that, before our next flight review, we have an upgrade coming to the PC-6, so stay tuned for that. As far as the transplant went on the PC-6, what do you think about what Daddy did with the leading edge switching on that?
What's the leading edge?
The front end of the wing. Remember where Daddy cut it out and put a new one? What did you think about that?
Those wings that got stomped by horses are reusing me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were actually reusable. I guess that what you could say is upcycling.
The horses told us that we needed to use it for spare parts.
There you go. Yeah, the horses deemed that they were not safe and they gave it to us for spare parts. I guess that's the positive way of looking at it, right? All right, guys. Well, that's going to conclude our episode for the week. Great. I want to have a huge shout out to my girls, even though one of them has decided not to show up today. But that's all good. No worries. She did an amazing job on that DC-3. You know, you did just an awesome job on the Cougar. I am so proud of you guys. I'm enjoying this so much. It's actually so much more fun doing this with y'all than by myself. So please, guys, use this. I'm going to use this as a segue, is to get your families involved in this hobby. I am enjoying it so much. I think you're enjoying it a little bit. I mean, heck, every morning she's coming out there, Daddy, I'm ready to work on the Cougar. I mean, so I think she is. And you want to tell them the rest of it?
Of what?
The outro.
Oh.
No, she doesn't. Guys, please comment. We love talking to you guys. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It means a lot more than just numbers for us. It keeps us going. It gets the girls excited. It gets me excited. And also, please, please, please don't forget to hit that like button and share this with all of your friends. And we'll see you next time. Bye.